Hey guys, it's Lauren. Welcome or welcome back. Today I'm doing another new makeup release video, and in these videos I just share my opinion on a bunch of new launches coming out, let you know kind of just my thoughts on the products. In addition to that, I also like to share when you can get the products, how much you can get them for, kind of that basic information. But any product that's already available I'll have linked in the description box, and if you do decide to purchase a product through one of those links, please know any link with an asterisk beside it is an affiliate link. That just means if you go through that link and decide to purchase a product, I can make a commission off of your purchase, but it's no extra cost to you. I just like to always be transparent about that in these videos. I will have pictures popping up on the screen of the products that I'm mentioning to kind of give you a point of reference, and those pictures and some of the information that I'm sharing today come from 3 different Instagram accounts, and I will have their handles on the screen right now and their pages and links to their Instagram pages in the description below. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you want to check out more of my new makeup release videos, I will have a playlist with all of my other ones in the description below, as well as in the upper right hand corner now. But I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm really excited because I have a new notebook. Normally I do like just kind of a guideline of what I want to talk about in each video, and I'm excited because I think this new one is so cute. I got it off of Redbubble a couple months ago and just needed to finish up my other one first before using it, but I really like this, so I'll try and find a link to it in the description below for you guys. But the first product I want to talk about today, well, really it's 2 products, and they're from Rare Beauty. Rare Beauty is Selena Gomez's beauty line. I'm pretty sure she came out with it at the tail end of summer, and I think I just missed talking about it, so I didn't really get to talk about a lot of the other products from her range, but I did, from what I could tell from reviews and also just kind of the way that I thought the products looked, I was very intrigued. However, she did just come out with 2 eyeshadow palettes, and let me tell you, they're called the Confident Energy and the Magnetic Spirit eyeshadow palette. The Confident Energy one is on the right in the picture that you see, and then the Magnetic Spirit is on the left in that picture. And to be completely honest, seeing these palettes, first off, I didn't really think they went with the rest of the brand's aesthetic that she's come out with so far, but also I don't know, I'm not really intrigued by the colorway of these palettes, and I haven't really seen a lot of other people really talk about how they think the color scheme's kind of wonky, but in my opinion it just looks a little strange. Like, I don't really understand the organization of the colors. I don't really see how you could use them in cohesion with each other. Maybe that's just because I am pretty basic with my eyeshadow. I mean, obviously I like the neutrals a lot, and maybe this is more of like, I heard some people say it could be more of like a one and done where you just take 1 shade or maybe even 2 shades and that's kind of it, because they are all shimmer palettes, and I believe there's 6 shades in each one, and I just don't know, there's something about these that I don't love. They're $25 each, which isn't terribly priced, especially for something that is higher end and at Sephora. They are already available, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about these. So there's a lot from Colourpop I want to talk about today, as always. This first launch though really does intrigue me. It's the Colourpop Stone Cold Fox palette. This is a 30 pan kind of cool tone color scheme palette. It's $34, and I believe the layout is very similar to one they came out with, I believe the Bare Necessities palette, I think they came out with this time last year, and that palette did really draw me in as well, but this one even more so does because of those cool tone, all of the kind of more mauve-y, brown cool tone shades, because I feel like a lot of cool tone palettes, they really have more of a gray scale to it, and while I do like that, I also am more into kind of the taupey, the browns, the mauves. Those are the cool tones that I really look for, and this has quite a few of those. So when I saw it, I was very intrigued, pretty much like off the bat, and I still am. In all of the pictures that I see posted on Instagram, the palette looks great, but whenever I go to Colourpop's website, which it is already available, I look at the color scheme and I'm not as, I don't know, the colors in the palette just don't catch my attention in the pictures that they have uploaded on their website, which is kind of interesting. So I'm not totally sure if I will end up purchasing this one. I still may get it. I don't know. I'm very on the fence about it, but I will say one thing that I wish this palette had more of is some like champagne shades. I love kind of incorporating some lighter shimmery shades in with those cool tone looks, and there's really not a lot of those in this palette, so that is something that I wish I saw more in there. Now for another Colourpop palette that did kind of draw me in as well, this is the That's Taupe palette, and this one's only $14. It only has 9 different shades, and when I first saw this palette, I was like, oh my gosh, I really want it. Kind of the same way I felt about the Stone Cold Fox palette. And I'm glad that I did hold off, because out of the 2, I definitely like the Stone Cold Fox palette better, just looking at them. And I still may end up getting this one, who knows. But the reason that I'm really glad I didn't kind of impulsively purchase this palette is because when I look at it, realistically, I feel like I'd only used half the shades, because they're only about half of them that are like actually unique to my collection, ones that I really would like to have in my collection that I don't already have. Like, when I look at it, it's about half and half. And I gotta say, I love the snake print packaging. I think that's very cool. There's something about this that I just really like. But it's like, when I think about it, I don't really need it. And this is another one that you can already get. It's already available, but I just don't know if this is something I need in my life. Next, I want to talk about the Huda Beauty Haze Obsessions palettes. And these are 9-pan palettes. There's 3 different colorways of them, and they're each $29. Now, these are already available. I believe they're just on Score's website. But the 3 different colorways are Khaki Haze, Purple Haze, and Sand Haze. And Purple Haze and Sand Haze, to me, look very much done before. They don't look like anything very unique at all on the market, but also just from Huda Beauty in general. I feel like she has done these colorways a billion times over, and you can get these from her brand already. So definitely was not intrigued by either of those, although they are kind of the neutral, pinkier shades that I'm into. They just don't look unique. They just look very done before, if you know what I mean. But then one palette that I see a lot of people getting excited about is the Khaki Haze colorway. And to be honest, I mean, yes, like, you don't see a lot of like army green type shades and palettes that kind of surround that, but really I just see that one kind of army green and a lot of just neutral basic shades, which you know that I like, but I just don't know how, I don't think this palette looks very appealing to me as far as the colors that they chose to put in it, and I don't see a lot of unity. And normally when you have a larger palette, I'm okay if, you know, the palette isn't very cohesive, but when you're looking at a smaller palette, I do expect there to be some level of like unity and using the shades together, and I just don't see that a lot here. I don't think this is one that I really like, and I feel bad just trash talking it, but I really can't think of a lot of things with this collection that I'm very intrigued by. So the next launch I want to talk about is from Colourpop again. You guessed it. I mean, Colourpop just has come out with so many different things, and I'm not even talking about everything they've come out with in the past month or so. I'm really just talking about the things that I think are interesting for like one reason or another. But this next one is the Colourpop Hocus Pocus launch. This specifically, I want to talk about the Gather Round Sisters palette, which is the $22 eyeshadow palette they came out with. And I gotta be honest, please do not come for me, but I've never seen this movie. Maybe I have when I was younger and I just don't remember it, but even then, the other night I like came in and one of my roommates was watching it, and it was like the tail end of the movie, so I sat down and watched like the last 5 minutes of it, but that's like the extent of Hocus Pocus that I've seen. And I didn't even tell her that. Like, people love this movie, and I haven't watched it, so I don't know. But one thing I can say is I don't really get the hype surrounding this palette as far as the colors go, and maybe they're really matchy-matchy with like the whole theme of the movie and everything, and that's just what I don't get. I don't know. I don't know quite what the reason is that I don't love this palette, but people seem to really just love it. And I know Colourpop is not, they take a while to restock palettes, and as of the time that I'm filming this, it's October 24th. You probably won't see this till like Monday or Tuesday, and it may be restocked by then, but as of right now, it's not, and people really want this thing to come back in stock, and I just don't get it. I don't love the colors. Yes, they are a little bit more Halloween focused, which is nice because not a ton of palettes do that, but to me, these just don't look like anything that unique. They don't look like colors I'd really enjoy, but yeah, I don't know. I feel really bad just trashing this palette, but it's just not something that I could ever see myself purchasing, but I get it. I get the appeal. I don't know. So next I want to talk about the Colourpop in the Clear Face and Eye Gloss. This is the last Colourpop product I am going to talk about today, but these are $8. And I gotta say, I feel like the face and eye gloss type products are definitely more of like, they're just kind of not it anymore. Like, they were for a good period of time, they were the popular trend, but I just don't feel like they're super popular now, and I find that the timing of this launch is pretty interesting. And I feel like for Colourpop, they are normally very on top of the trends because they do have that in-house production, and so they can definitely, like, you know, track trends. They can come out with products very quickly to stay on top of the trends. But with this, it's like, this kind of came out of nowhere, and I know they were doing like a week of launches or whatever, but this just seems very oddly timed and just, I don't know, not that useful. And I did look at some reviews, and a lot of people were saying that it is a pretty sticky formula. I don't know for myself because I've never tried it, and I honestly feel like, you know, most of these type of products are pretty sticky, so I don't think that's abnormal, but it's just not something that I love. This was never a trend I was super into. Next, I want to talk about a launch from Bite Beauty. I think this came out like the middle of September, but I still wanted to talk about it. I don't know, for some reason this kind of like drew my attention. I don't talk about Bite Beauty a lot. So this is the Bite Beauty Yay Sayer Plumping Lip Gloss, and these are $25. And one thing with these is the shades are pretty fun, they're unique, they're either like super colorful or they have like a glittery type texture or kind of a mixture of the two, which we do need in the market. I feel like there's not as many like fun, bold shades and type of like textures for lip glosses, but for me that's not really my speed. You guys know I love the neutral, kind of just all day natural type shades, especially with my glosses. And I know a lot of people aren't into lip plumpers, and the thing for me is I don't mind plumpers that have kind of a minty tingle to them. I don't know how good they are for your lips, but I don't personally mind the sensation that the mint gives. But whenever I use products that have like cinnamon in them, it does tend to irritate me a little bit. Those do tend to get to me, and these do have cinnamon in them. However, I was looking at the reviews to see if anyone had any complaints with that, and it looked to be like the reviews were quite opposite. People were saying, you know, this is a nice like lip gloss, but there's really not a ton of plumping effects. And again, I can't speak to it because I've never tried it, but I did think that was interesting. Like, I feel like because they are clean beauty products, they probably were not able to use a lot of, you know, ingredients that other brands would use to give those plumping properties, which I think is pretty nice because you know that the ingredients are going to be clean and it's not going to irritate your lips. So if you're looking for just a fun gloss, this may be something you'd want to try. Now I want to talk about the Natasha Denona Triochrome Eyeshadow Palette. This one I believe is going to be their holiday launch. It's coming out on November 3rd. Now in this palette there are 15 different shades, and there are three of those are like their multi-chrome, like fun pigmented shades, and those do look pretty. Those multi-chromes look very unique. However, looking at this palette, like just looking at it all together as a palette, I don't know, whenever I was looking at this, I was like, I don't really love the color scheme. I feel like it's very inconsistent. There's not a lot of cohesion to it. It just looks disjointed. However, when I really took some time to kind of like separate it, just kind of zoom into certain quadrants and portions of the palette, I realized that a lot of these shades I do feel like would be complementary with those multi-chromes. So I do think they make more sense, and the matte shades in the palette do look decent, especially when I think about how they'd work with those multi-chromes. However, for me, it really comes down to you're getting 3 fun shades, and you probably have a lot of the other shades in the palette already. And with that, it's like, this palette's still $129, which I know that's Natasha Denona pricing, that's just the way that it's gonna be, but to only get 3 really unique shades, I just don't really see how that justifies the high price tag with this palette. Next, let's talk about a limited edition launch from Laneige. They're coming out with one new lip sleeping mask that's limited edition, and they're bringing back another lip sleeping mask that'll also be for only a limited time, but these are $22. They're bringing back the Choco Mint scent and like flavoring, and then they're also coming out with the lemon sorbet. And I just wanted to give my opinion on these because I tried out the berry version, and while I did like the scent, the flavoring of that, I didn't feel like the lip mask really did much for me. I feel like if anything, it kind of dried out my lips a little bit. And if you know, I rave about the glowy lip balms, which are in kind of their tube packaging, and I really like those. So maybe they have like reformulated these to make them better, I don't know. But with these 2 scents, I don't think I'd really love the lemony scent just because I'm not a huge, like, I don't know, citrus girl. I'm more into like the minty things. So I think the Choco Mint flavor would be a lot more up my alley. And it was one that I was eyeing when I saw it come out last year. So maybe I will end up picking this up to try out the product again. Maybe my preferences have changed, but these are already available if you wanted to check them out. Alright guys, that about wraps it up for today. If you enjoyed this new makeup release video, definitely be sure to give it a thumbs up so I know to do more in the future. And if you'd like to check out the previous new makeup release videos that I've done, I'll have a playlist in the description below called I think it's called What's New in Makeup. I think that's what it's called. But anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you're new here and you haven't already subscribed, I'd really appreciate if you do so by clicking that little subscribe button below. And if you'd like to be notified whenever I upload in the future, definitely be sure to hit that notification bell next to the subscribe button. But if you have any thoughts on any of these launches or any other launches that are coming out, I would love to hear your thoughts or anything else you have to say in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for being here and watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you know how much I appreciate all of the support. But with that being said, I hope you have a great couple of days until my next video goes live, and I will see you when it does. Bye!